Hello everybody and welcome back. This video is going to be going up in pretty current time. I have had a bunch of vlogs going up back to back. It's not how I would normally do things, but we are in that final push for National Ceiling Fan Day and I want to get all this content up for you. In the last couple of videos I've been working on updating the display. In this video I'm going to do some updates in the studio. So as things kind of typically go with studio updates, this video is probably going to be a little bit shorter and more concise. I try to get my updates in there up before I post other videos that have that stuff in the background. And I was actually really considering putting this off until after National Ceiling Fan Day. Things are usually busy enough in that lead up that I don't need to put other things on my plate. But my regular studio background really is just white concrete walls. The lighting that I put in the background is really how I spice it up. And for the most part, I've had the same stuff up in there since I started filming in this space. So I'm getting really eager to just freshen it up and show some different items. And you do actually see quite a bit of the studio in National Ceiling Fan Day videos, so that has also been the same for a few years. So I kind of decided today I have a little bit of extra time. I just want to dive in and do it. Get a new look going for the background of regular videos and also a new look for National Ceiling Fan Day. So you guys already know about these Kichler pendants that I had previously installed in this corner. I took them out when I did my chandelier video just because they were a little bit too distracting in the background. I did really enjoy how that grouping looked over here. I just don't think it was large enough to really have enough impact. So I'm going to repurpose these. I looked at trying to work in all three, but I think it's just going to be a little too much for my plans here. So I'm going to work those pendants in up here. Probably the shorter one on this side of the TV and the longer one over here. I will get them placed. I'm not sure if it's going to look too busy with the Edison bulbs here. If it does feel kind of busy, I will probably eliminate these two Edison bulbs. Otherwise, if I think it looks okay, I will probably keep them. I have really enjoyed these Feist pendants mounted on the track. I like the styling a lot and the finishes have really worked in this space, but they have been here a while and I am ready for the opportunity to do something different. I also mentioned before that long term I would probably move them off the track and onto the strut. To do that, I would have to rewire them again because I cut the wires so short so that they could mount to the track connectors. So I will probably keep these as track mounted fixtures, tuck them away, and maybe I'll have a future use for them. To replace those pendants, I have these new ones from Kichler. You guys know that I love brass, so I wanted to mix up the finishes a little bit and bring in more of the brass. So these kind of have that same industrial theme, which I really like. The whole kind of vibe that I've always had going out here has been on the more industrial side, so I think it works. But I love bringing in the brass finish to soften it up a little bit. So that's what we're doing for the two pendants, and then for that other corner where I had the other pendants mounted before, I got this fixture actually at a really cheap price from Golden Lighting. I have always been a big fan of Kichler's Armstrong fixture. I did purchase these items myself. This video is not sponsored in any way, and that fixture was completely out of my budget. So I was able to find something in a similar realm of design at a lower price point. And actually, I think the size and scale of this one is going to work better for my space anyways. So you can see this is also in a brass or gold finish. And it's also kind of nice because being from a different manufacturer, it is a slightly different tone. And I do have the chandelier with brass and gold tones, so I'm already dealing with a variety of finishes. So obviously with all of the strut mounted in here, as well as the remaining track heads, I will still have silver tones going in here, but mixed metals are in, so I'm gonna roll with that. And like I said, I am excited to warm it up a little bit more with the brass tones. So I think basically I'm gonna start on this end and then work my way around. There is going to be some reworking of the wiring involved. Working in the strut is kind of tedious and time consuming, so I'm not sure how much of the process I'm going to film, but I will definitely stop in to show you the progress along the way. Alright, so this is where I'm at. I have the lights up. I was trying to decide if it looks too busy. I'm going to put the shades on and decide for sure. I don't know, I kind of like it and I kind of don't. I'm not real sure. It's kind of like the middle needs something, but I don't really have enough height with the TV here to do anything. But I do kind of like the random look of what's happening on either side. Let me see if I just take this one down, what it looks like. I mean, it's definitely a simpler, much more minimalist look. I'll probably have to live with this one for a little bit and decide what I'm ultimately gonna do. I kind of want to see it lit up as well and see what that looks like. This view isn't on camera very often, so it's not super critical. I almost wonder if I could mount the third one of these almost flush and then off-center this Edison bulb just a little bit, and that would add to the random effect. Actually, I'm gonna look at that real quick, because if the wire is long enough, which it should be, I can just tie it into the splice that I've already made. So give me a second and I'll be right back. Still not super sure. I'm gonna need to see it lit. It's busy, but again, I kind of like that. So I may still continue to play around with this area. It's kind of all or nothing. Either do this to make it cohesive or just pare it down to the two pendants on either side. So for now, I'll try this. We can see what it looks like lit and the entire scope of things. But I'm gonna go ahead and move along to this side. Alright you guys, I'm just getting started with things on this side, but I have used up my time for the moment, so I need to head out. But of course I will be back in here very soon. This video will have to go up in just a few days, so I will need to finish it in pretty short order. I will see you back soon. Hello, I am back again, same night. I have a little bit of extra time tonight that I didn't foresee having, so I am going to keep moving on this as much as possible. I did a little bit of prep work getting the screws trimmed to the right length for the mounting brackets before I left earlier, and this time I'm just going to run the fixture wire all the way over to my existing splice points, so I won't have to go into the strut and change any of the wiring there. So I'm hoping that this will actually be pretty quick and seamless. Alright, number one is in, on to the second. Alright, I've got the second one placed. This one is in a slightly different position so it doesn't hit the existing one. That's the only reason I took this one down right away. The new one was bumping into it and I didn't want it to damage the finish. So I don't want to wire this one up yet because this corner fixture is also going to splice in. So I don't have a lot of time left this evening, but I think I'm going to try to at least get this fixture assembled and get it at the right hanging height so that I just have to hang it the next time I'm here. So let's pull this out and see what we need to do. Clearly, as you just saw, I got a little bit further than I thought I would. I just couldn't resist putting in another 5 minutes to see it installed. Still have to do the wiring, but everything I do now is less that I have to do later. I am definitely liking how much better this chandelier fills out the corner. So now I am for sure headed out for the night, and I will see you back here again soon. Hello, I am back again. I keep doing these mirror shots because I really just don't want to flip the microphone around. I am here and working on finishing up this wiring, and then I will be able to show you what I'm gonna do down here. So I will be back in just a couple of minutes. Alright, this is all done and ready to go. So at some point I may put something else in front of this mirror, but for now I don't have anything to put here. But I am going to do something way down at this end. I have selected what I think are the two worst of the 4 Casablanca light fixtures I have. I still have plans for the other 2 where they'll be a little bit more readily seen, which is why I chose the worst ones for here, because they're kind of tucked in this corner and aren't going to show up very often, but mainly they will be here for my own enjoyment. This also works out really well because it gives me 2 heights and also 2 different fitter sizes, so it kind of provides a nice variety. I did actually select the best of the hang trues that came with the batch though, because the way I plan to do the other ones, you're not going to be able to see the hang true very well, whereas in this location you're actually going to be able to see it very well. So I'm basically just going to start at the end with the longer one and then work my way back. So I will check in with you again shortly. Alright, I've got both installed and wired up. I am just getting this wire back over to tie into the existing. I did also forget to mention that these do have pull chains, but for this application I wanted a cleaner look, so I just tucked them up inside. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get everything tied together and cleaned up. Okay, I've got everything tied together and powered on, so here is the final product. I was worried that these lamps would throw a few too many lumens, and on camera it doesn't seem to look too bad, but in person it's a little extreme. So I may need to work on that and figure it out because the rest of them are pretty subdued for the most part. So if I could tone this one down, that would be great. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Otherwise, I'm really happy with it. I think this side does look good. Part of my concern with this was also if it was going to throw too many lumens, but I don't think it's too bad. So I'm kind of thinking I'll stick with this for the time being. So that's really going to wrap it up for this video. Like I said at the beginning, it's just a studio update, so it needs to be one and done. I'm super excited about how everything looks and can't wait for you to see it in the background of my new videos. So thank you all for watching today. Remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell to get updates for my new videos, and I will see you next time. Hello, I just wanted to pop in with one final update. In the moment while I was recording, I wasn't really thinking about this, but this fixture in the corner throwing too many lumens is exactly why I implemented 2 switch legs in the first place. So all of the other fixtures are pretty well in tune with one another, so I just swapped that corner one over to the other wire and it is now on its own dimmer. So all the rest of these are still controlled together, and then I've got this one on its own that I can control independently. In a previous video, I had talked about maybe swapping out the lamping in this chandelier to something a little bit more standard. With all of the other stuff that I've added onto this switch leg, I'm no longer really having that same issue with these lamps not turning off all the way. So I don't really need to do that anymore. But if I were to do that, I would probably add it onto the same dimmer with this one because it would have a similar issue of throwing too many lumens. So I just wanted to pop in again because I just made this change out, and it's a great example of precisely what I was planning ahead for when I installed the Unistrut system. It worked great for my chandelier feature video, and it's also going to work great for this purpose. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Click left to watch my last vlog, or click right for the entire shop vlog playlist so that you can start at the beginning.